And it's now I'm going to show you the last video about painting the scenery from the core box of Heroquest. This time we are going to focus on two different things: the OSL effect done by a light and some few freehand I'm going to do on the paper, on the different book we can find into this scenery. By the way, I'm going to make some glass and some few tips like that. I really hope you enjoy this tutorial, and the last will be done probably in the next months about the different characters from the good and bad sides. The hero and the villain will come for my boss on Patreon, so if you have to see all the different tutorial about how to paint your Heroquest box, don't hesitate to join us on Patreon. Thanks again, and let's go for the paint. So for the first step, we are going to take care about the page and different sheets we are going to find into the different scenery we have into requests. And for that, I'm going to apply some pretty diluted skeleton bone from Army Painter to have a simple base. We are going to later have more and more layer to create our different kind of effect. And now with very diluted snakebit laser from Prince August's games, we are going to create some kind of texture just by trying to have something pretty dirty with very diluted snakebit laser. As you are going to see, it's going to be more than only some shadow. You can push into the shadow for sure, but we are going to try to tap our brush to create some life into this paper and this different element. And now with some white really diluted again, we are going to come on every edges, by the way, but we are going to apply this just under the different dirty small things. And by the way, we are going to push into the direction we want the more light, for sure. Remember, during this step, we are going to try to have more contrast into the different texture we are going to apply to this paper. So don't hesitate to push in the direction you want and to tap just under the different the different part of brown we already applied just before. And now I'm going to apply some Dumbu Brown on the different elements who are going to be in red or in leather, like on the book, for example. I like to do that right now just because it's going to give me more visibility for the next step. And now with some dark sea blue from Prince August, I'm going to apply this color to start creating my freehand. And for that, the dark sea blue is pretty interesting because it's more contrasted and strong than black, but you can always come back with black to giving more deepness. And by the way, you can always clean with some white all around. I try to use the hand of my brush this time and trying to make something at beginning the more thin I can, and step by step I'm going to increase the large elements just to step by step giving more life to this freehand. As you can see, I don't have a lot of paint into my brush, and I can come back and make it again and again to have something more strong and more clear. And now with some white again from AK Interactive, I come back and I'm going to clean all my different steps of freehand. This step is really important because a lot of people think doing freehand is just one way, but as you can see, I make a lot of modify just by adding some white all around. By the way, you can see later I'm going to use this blue to create a little bit more shadow into some different parts. That's always helpful. And now I continue, but this time with some matte black from Army Painter, and I pushing more contrast into the different elements to giving more life again to all my freehand parts. And now with some Evil Sense Scarlet from Games Workshop, I come back and I push my highlight on the different surfaces to have more and more contrasts into the red part and into the flames. And now with some cold yellow from Chimera Color, I come back into the source of my flame to create more contrast. And now with some pure red from Army Painter Hair Color, I'm going with my airbrush to create my other source lightning effect by applying some red in a very large surfaces to show that this flame is going to pushing the light everywhere around. And now with some meteor rock, and by applying it into surfaces we are going to be more in contact with the source of light, I'm going to apply this in order to accentuate my contrast. And now we are going to paint the glasses just by using two different colors of one turquoise and one green, just to have really different color of glass into our scenery. That's going to give more life again to your scenery, just because having only one kind of color into the glass is sometimes a little bit boring on the scenery, and in that way it's going to be more natural. I'm going to apply the turquoise and the scaly green on all the surfaces where I'm going to take the more shadow. And by the way, that's going to be easy to apply it on the two different color. So for the first turquoise, it's going to be the new turquoise from Model Color, and for the green grass, it's going to be the scaly green from Prince August. And now with some few white from Aka and some cold yellow from Chimera, I'm going to apply my last highlights on the glaces. It's going to be pretty useful to use some yellow just because it's going to give you more contrast, and the yellow is not necessarily very covering, so it's going to be pretty good to highlight the last points on your green surfaces. By the way, you can always take this time to pushing and to create more transition with a different color by just using a different color very diluted. And at least I'm going to use some the red color from Chimera Color to pushing a little bit more contrast into the different red parts and applying some very diluted of this red to create some transition. And now, just to finish, I'm going to apply some gloss varnish on all the glass parts, and that's all. So it's done for this scenery. I really hope you enjoy this tutorial. This video will be accessible just to my boss on Patreon for some time, and after it will be accessible to everyone. The only one will be accessible only to my boss will be the video about the hero and the demon and some masterpiece, and that will be forever. So don't hesitate to come and support me on Patreon to have access to this tutorial. I really hope you enjoy this tutorial and see you soon for the next one. Bye bye.